Why, hello, YouTube. Welcome back. This is Baylor Mage, and we have a new build and a new item. So, this is not going to be a build guide video. You can see in the background we're running a Kinetic Blast now. This is a full magic finder. We'll have a build guide to that coming out in the next day or two. But what you might see in the background here is a whole bunch of identified items on the ground, many of them worth 30 to 40c each, some of them worth 1x to 1.5x each. And I would like to introduce everybody to our new friend Tom. He is an item, is a chest, and it is something we are using right now, and it's called Cloak of Tom Isley. Now let's jump into game and show you why it is changing the entire game of Magic Find, at least for me, and hopefully for you too. Let's go. Right, over here. So we've got a classic Magic Find set up, right? Normal Magic Find stuff. I normally do Tornado Shot. This time I've decided to do Kinetic Blast because Crimson's really good with Kinetic Blast. Classic, Sedemas, Goldworm, some quantity on an amulet, Ventors. But we might notice a new chest. Normally we're running that 20% quant chest, and if we're not running the quant chest, we're running some like double influence stuff or whatever, like to get, you know, a bunch of power in our Magic Find builds. However, this time, and probably for the rest of the league, we are wearing the Cloak of Tom Isley Savant robe. Now I bought this robe for 30c yesterday. And then 6-linked it myself. Halfway through today it was 2x, then it went up to 5x, then it went back down to 2x, and then it went back down to 1x, and then it went back up to 3x. And who knows what the price is going to do with this. But frankly, if it was a 30x chest, I would still have bought it. For one line, found magic items drop identified. Now, this is absolutely crazy for two reasons. One, all of my robots on the ground are already identified, and you just mouse over them and leave the shit ones there, and you don't have to spend a bunch of time IDing robots in your maps and dropping them on the ground. Great change. Love it. Not taking this off. But second, and perhaps more importantly, is recombinator fodder. So the default NeverSync filter, this is not a special thing that I wrote for my filter. The default NeverSync filter has some ID'd item finding technology built into it. Big thanks to NeverSync for building that in, because it's not been super relevant until recently. However, we only did 12 maps here. Actually, it might have been 8 maps. We only did 8 maps here. And if we look for some things like suppression. So here's a bunch of tier 1 suppression mods. Now these sell for 30 to 50c depending on what item they're on. They're going to go through my rotating tabs. They're going to sell in one of these tabs, probably in the 29c tab for all these suppression ones. But they're there, they're everywhere, and they're just blue items that were ID'd, and the filter shows them to you, which is just fantastic. And then we get things like to all, that should do it. To level of all, and then we get a bunch of stuff like +1 lightning dispels, +1 physical, +1 lightning, cold, physical, lightning, fire. You get the point. There's a whole bunch of +1s here. There's a chaos. Here's one that's all chaos on an amulet. Here's another one that's all lightning. We already found 2 amulets that were +1 to all. Not just +1 to a specific, but +1 to all. Those sold for 1.5x each. This is basically just, hey, you know those recombinators? Here's all of the things anyone could ever look for, all highlighted in the filter, all showing up on the ground for you to pick up without having to identify them. We could throw away our wisdom scrolls. We don't need to pray to Deckard Cain. We don't need to do anything except wear our friend Tom, Cloak of Tom Isley. My new favorite chest. I want to share that with as many people as possible. This chest is actually relatively rare, so I expect it to go up in price a little bit. That being said, if it spikes for some reason because of this video, just wait a day or two, or wait for somebody with it cheaper to come online. But this is just a ton of money. If we're not wearing this chest, we're leaving a ton of money on the floor of every map we run, and it's just insane. I cannot believe how much this has changed magic finding for me. At least for this league, while we've got recombinators, it is everything I ever wanted. So I hope at least a few people managed to pick them up before mass buyers have bought them all and price fix them on people, because that's goddamn annoying. But it is fun. It's a fun time. It's a fun time to be a Magic Find build, guys. Also, in case anybody's wondering, there will be a full guide on what I'm doing with Magic Find, but basically we're just running 20% Crimson Temples with Beyond on them. We got a Replica Headhunter and an Inspired Learning, and just blasting them. But we'll do a full guide on that later. This one was about our friend Tom. I'm really excited. It is just fantastic. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. So there we go. All right. I hope everybody has a great time with our friend Tom, and I will see you later.